I want to talk about the difference between knowing and external advice. So, as writers, we have a lot to learn. There's plot, there's how am I going to structure this thing? There's learning how to describe a character in a way that feels authentic. And there's also a lot of advice out there. And some of it's great and some of it gets you going. But what can happen, and I see it happen over and over again to writers, is that when you put more trust into the advice, you can override your own knowing and what the story you want to write actually is. So I'm Traci Skuce, and I'm a story mentor, and I work with writers to get into that nuance of writing and go into the depths so they can discover what story it is they truly want to write and how to write it. So one of the things that happens when we get into a cycle of learning and trying to listen to advice is we may have the complex of the good student. We want to be the good student. We want to do it right. We want to be a writer. We want to sell thousands of copies of our books. But we stop listening to the very story we set out to write. And that is where we can get stuck and confused. So I am not suggesting don't get support and don't get help and don't seek advice. I'm not suggesting that. But I am suggesting that you remember that your priority is with your story and attending to the spirit and expression that wants to come through you. So, one way to do that, and it's really simple, is when you encounter advice and you encounter maybe some doubt, like, oh, I should be writing, I should be writing it with the hero's journey. This is one I see all the time. I thought I had to just put more action in. It's like, no, you're rushing us through this because you feel like you need to get the action in. So, what if instead you get still in yourself, settle into your bones, into your body, and you look around your scene and you notice what's there? And what is it that needs to happen next? Just get still and see if your own wisdom leads you to the next step.